Hello, and welcome to this session of Writer's Room, where we'll be developing a TV show about globetrotting pulp adventure. I'm Anders, he, him, and I'm here with four lovely players. We'll do brief introductions. Alex.
Hello, my name's Alex. First time playing this game. Also, first time playing any type of microscope game. So, really interested to play it because I'm going to be facilitating it in about a month's time.
Oh, thank you. Jim.
Jim?
Hey, I'm Jim. I'm a long-time listener, long-time caller, I guess is what we might how we might describe this. I play a bunch with Anders, so I was delighted to see him offer this. I played this a couple of times in different other iterations. We played a Star Trek one that was just crushed all the way through, super fun, and really looking forward to this, as well as getting to know some new folks I haven't played with before.
Thank you. T is next.
Hi, I'm T, she, her. I have played Microscope, haven't played this, and excited to get into it.
Thank you. And finally, Aaron.
Hello, I'm Aaron, he, him. And I played, I did play Microscope a couple times back in the day. And then I played this Writer's Room once before, and it was really fun. So excited to try it again.
Cool. Happy to have you back. So, like I said, we're doing a globe-trotting pulp adventure in the vein of Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider, that sort of thing, but we'll try to stay away from the colonialist themes. And now is when we get into discussing more in detail what we want this show to be. So, before we start actually playing, thank you, T, for the turn order. We will, before we get into actual play, we'll define a bit what the show is, when is it being made, when is it set, if we're doing a live action show, what kind of actors will we be casting, if any. I sent some questions along for this before the game. When is the show set? When is the show being made? And how do we avoid the colonialist stuff? Does anyone want to go first here? Someone who has strong ideas or opinions?
I have a pitch, which is if we still want to play with the idea of interesting cultural artifacts, instead of going and stealing them, it could be someone who works in repatriations.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's absolutely interesting. How do we add kind of the pulp adventure thing on top of that, so that it's not like because we don't want to do bureaucracy, we want to do
Sure, we do that because we're not repatriating from museums or repatriating from, the Smithsonian. They have staffs that handle that and everything. We are repatriating from tech CEOs, Saudi princes, South American drug cartels and stuff like this that have that shit in their houses, and we go in that have zero interest. Like, there's nobody you can talk to about repatriating that stuff. And so that is, we get called in by, to repatriate, kind of like forcible repatriation. And that makes it pulpy as hell, I think, if we do it that way.
And I'm thinking there's like a dubious, morally dubious band of archaeologists who are going around collecting these things for these black market individuals, uber rich individuals.
100%, yeah, absolutely.
And they're like competitors to whatever group that we come up with.
Yeah, they're. I don't think. Maybe poacher isn't the right word, but they're the equivalent of poachers, right? They're illegally collecting archaeological. What do they call like
looting?
Like grave robbers and stuff? The people who looted the ancient tombs. All the Egyptian mummies tombs. Yeah. A lot of them were looted. Long before any kind of research could be done, or documentation could be made.
Yeah, so it's Indiana Jones meets Leverage, kind of.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's a solid foundation. So are we setting this show in the present day, or is it some earlier time period?
I'm always more interested in current day, because then we don't have to wrestle with what level of technology do we have access to, who's our bad guys, all this kind of stuff and everything. There was a time when I said, well, if we set it in the 40s, we could fight Nazis, but
Yeah.
So I just find modern day more interesting. And also, if you want to do like cool, slick heist stuff with a lot of tech and everything, you can. That's we've got access to that.
Yeah.
So, do we have any? What are some good like modern day pulp adventure touchstones?
Well, I mean, the recent Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider movie and TV show is kind of present day for whenever it was created.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, the Fast and the Furious, it's at least action adventure sort of thing, and it's definitely not realistic, which I guess pushes it kind of towards the pulp side of things.
Maybe National Treasure?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that one. I would say the Mission Impossible films.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and there's that Librarians TV series, stuff like that. That all makes sense.
Cool. And I feel like we have a common understanding. We're set in the present day. We're liberating cultural artifacts from private collections and repatriating them to their original owners as well as we can. Cool. So I'm going to make a note here of time period, present day.
Well, maybe not their original owners, their rightful owners.
No, yeah, rightful. Yeah.
I mean, if we wanted to introduce a time travel element.
I was wondering.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the discussions we're going to have about how gonzo we can get with it.
Yeah. So one thing is that it's set in the present day. However, that doesn't preclude us from doing the flashbacks to, especially to, like, if it was taken a long time ago, right? We can flash back and have a scene showing when it was taken or initially discovered, or what happened, kind of along the way, and then we're coming in, perhaps decades later, right, to kind of untangle the mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So we should talk about tone in the show. Is this light-hearted action adventure? Is it more serious? Like, where do we land on that?
I think these type of shows should be kind of light-hearted, tongue-in-cheek, but they are still dealing with potentially serious issues around repatriation of cultural items and stuff. So it's the humor is potentially between the characters and potentially some situations and mistakes that happen along the way that raise the tension. But the background is of a serious kind of.
Yeah, I think we can tackle serious problems, but still have a good attitude about it.
I'm putting down light-hearted but respectful.
This is a weird shout, but do y'all remember Wishbone?
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Yep.
Which I think like lighthearted, like the situation was silly, but also they were, very straightforwardly dealing with the subject matter. And also I could see there being like maybe a sliver of educational content in this as well. Like, we're going to talk about a specific culture this time that maybe you have not encountered, idealized American youth. Or I don't know if it's an adult show or for kids.
I should have here.
My wife will fight anyone who says that there's a better Mr. Darcy than Wishbone. So that's...
Wait, Wishbone, Jack Russell Terrier dog, is that it?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Played Mr. Darcy in a Pride and Prejudice thing that they did, and it was just...
They reenacted, novels and plays and stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Cool.
Interesting.
I was going to put in a rating here as well. Like what, and I think this is like rating / demographic. Who are we making the show for?
This is like this is something that I see like packed panels at Comic-Con for this show. Like it's a kind of maybe slightly sub prestige. It's like something that would be like in my head, it's something that would be on like, it's like one of these like I was going to call it HBO Max, whatever it is now, kind of week to week kind of things, or like one of those, like Apple weekly TV shows. Like
with a bit of budget,
a For All Mankind kind of thing, or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There's a budget, but it's not necessarily like a national TV.
But like it feels to me like it should be a serialized, like a season to season serialized thing, and not like whatever a big budget movie every 4 years or something like that.
Okay.
That's more. Oh, well, but that's what we're doing anyways, because we've got a TV show set up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like it, if we're doing a modern thing, it should be like, like Star Trek these days does 10 episode seasons once a year. And that feels more like you can kind of concentrate the good stuff in a shorter season like that, rather than trying to go, 26 episodes or something.
Yeah.
So we don't want to. We don't want to go for full on you watch this in the classroom kind of educational.
It's not educational, but it will probably have like I think we're putting in effort to make sure that when we're describing various culture and historical events, that it's correct information as far as we can make it.
Cool.
So it's not just like making up a country in South America, just so we can set it somewhere.
We want certain elements of society to point to this TV program and call it woke.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Okay.
Definitely have a consulting anthropologist.
Yeah. So demographic, are we thinking? It sounds like we're aiming more at an adult segment more than like teenagers.
Yeah.
This is for like it's a show for adults. It's a show for grown-ups.
Yeah, I think so.
Show for but not necessarily.
But it's PG
rated.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's not gonna.
Like it feels to me like 100% like the kind of show where within like 4 episodes, someone on Open Hearth will have written a PBTA hack of it so that we can play it. That's the kind of the kind of thing I'm envisioning. Yeah.
Well, how much? Yeah. So like, I mean, it's pulp action. So I guess the big other question on the rating is like how much violence and how much sex we want to include, right?
Violence and romance.
Sorry.
Yeah,
because you can have violence in PG-13, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like like a horror movie violence.
Super gory, right?
Yeah.
And romance is probably a good thing to have. And a fade to black.
Yeah.
Cool.
So PG-13 for rating. That was a suggestion.
Although I will say one caveat. I think in the US you can't have any same-sex couples in a PG-13 rated thing, no matter how platonic they are. So I am going to.
I don't think that. I don't think that's true. Like unless you can cite that somewhere, I think that I feel like that feels like something somebody said somewhere on the internet, but that doesn't like that. There's.
Well, anyway, it's not true for us.
Yes, it's not true for us.
Exactly. That's my point.
It's
if that is true, it's not true for us.
It's and also the motion picture ratings are different. Like it's not. We're just using that as a guideline
for the TV.
For
TV.
It's not TV. Yeah,
13 or whatever. Yeah.
The key thing here is that we're making this suitable for a teen audience. That's our what we are aiming for.
Yeah.
Since we're not actually going to show anything, we're just putting down words.
That makes sense.
But we're 100% going to have queer characters and and all of that. So absolutely. And acknowledge the existence of queer people in history. And we shouldn't feel any hesitation to do any of that for sure.
No, absolutely not.
Nice.
I don't think that should matter to the rating. Anyway, final thing is casting. Because now it sounds like we're doing a live action show. This does not sound like a cartoon. Even if you could make this show as a cartoon, but it sounds more like a live action from saying it's
although
somewhat prestige show.
Bringing up cartoons and animation, that makes me think of Johnny Quest. Has kind of similar vibes. You ever watch that one?
I mean, and Venture Brothers, which is pretty much a direct, parody of draws from Johnny Quest for a lot of its
right.
A lot of its inspiration.
But I think live action makes sense. I think we can make that work.
Cool.
It's gonna be we get enough budget that we can film on location sometimes, right? At least once an episode.
So then we need to decide about casting, just so that, and this is all just so that we're on the same page with casting. And there's a couple of different ways we can do this. We can do just full-on wish casting. We can pick whatever actors we want. We can get Scarlett Johansson and Brad Pitt for the main characters if we want to. We may not want to pick those, but just we can pick whoever we want. We can do slightly more realistic casting. We can get the big names on this type of who would be on this type of show. So we could get John Hamm. He's like that kind of level. It's it's not the big A-star movie stars, but we can get the bigger stars. We can step down even further, but then we start to get into the problem of actually knowing who the actors are, and then I wouldn't say final option, but one other option is that we don't care who the actors are, and that we can go two ways with that. One is we don't cast at all. We just say we're just describing the characters. And the other way is to say, we'll just cast faces. We'll find an interesting face and put it in here just so we have something that kind of shows what kind of character this is or what kind of actor we go. Does anyone have a strong opinion on this?
So the scenario that we've constructed feels to me like what I think of as a villain of the week show, right? Where our like I would love it if our cast was new actors, diverse, because having cultural interest in this as a thing they want to do, in a range of ages, that the cast should be new, because then folks will get to know them as the show progresses. But the big stars we bring in, we get them to come in and shoot for 3 days because they're the bad guy, because they're the like the head of the drug cartel or the tech CEO, or like that I mentioned, or whatever, the like oil baron or something like that is chewing up the scenery and hollering in rage because their whatever their Bible artifacts have been stolen from them or something like that. And that's kind of like if we've got money for cast, we spend it on those guest stars. And we have them in for 1 or 2 episodes, and it starts to get, and then that starts to be a thing like Poker Face or something like that, where you're like, oh my gosh, who are they going to have this week that they, like what cool person is she going to meet, bounce off of, and then we'll never see them again.
Yeah.
Cool. Everyone okay with that?
I dropped out a bit, but I'm assuming I'll be okay with it.
Cool. So I put that as unknowns for the main cast, big stars for the villain of the week, and other guest spots.
I was thinking maybe the main team might have an older kind of mentor or figure that might be a well-known actor, but they're only in like a few scenes across the whole season, so you could potentially film it within 3 days, but their appearances are dotted across the scenes. That way, there's a big famous name on the good side as well as the villains.
The Anne in the credits.
Yes.
Cool. Then I think we're done with the preamble. We've gone for almost an hour, so I think we'll take our break now and then get into play after the break. So let's start up again at 1:30.
Okay.
So we're back. Aaron brought up a question here. Do we want to deal with real-world stolen artifacts? I mean, we can do this. I can see at least 3 ways to do this. We deal with real-world stolen artifacts, or we as players make up artifacts, but they are understood to be like we would use real artifacts on the show, or we can just say that even on the show the stuff is made up, and we don't.
Yeah.
I don't know how much detail we need to go into about the artifacts themselves.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I was
Um,
just thinking. I was looking up
yeah.
some real world artifacts. I mean, I've heard some of the stories and stuff, but I don't know a lot of details about a lot of these things. So I wouldn't be able to write a history paper about these. But that's true. We don't really need to go into details. I mean, we're writers, not historians, right? That's we can bring in the consultants to fill in the details.
That's why we have a research team. Sorry.
If they're in private collections, they may just have never been documented.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is, we can sort of make up, oh, this this must have been we've caught wind of the sale going on, right, of this never before seen painting, right? It's the lost whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. I think we've come far enough that we can start playing. So, like I said, for the first round, we'll do showrunner, producer, or casting director. And then after we've done the first go round, we can pick whatever role we want. Oh, one thing I should clarify, especially for those who have played Microscope before, we don't need to build this top down. For example, you can start writing a scene in an episode that we don't know anything else about. If you just know, oh, I just have a cool line that I want to put in somewhere, you can just drop that in whatever scene you want, in whatever episode you want. We don't need to know what the episode is about or what the scene is about. We can just start adding things at whatever level we want. And somehow it tends to work out. Cool. So we had the turn order. T was kind enough to put together a turn order, which is It's me, then Alex, Jim, T, Aaron. So I guess I'll start. I think I will put in. I'll just do something obvious. I'll be showrunner, and I'll put in a theme of. I think we can say that anti-colonialism is a theme that we're going for here, and a type of conflict. I think we want some chases. Because we're doing pulp adventure, we're doing woke pulp adventure, but we're still doing pulp adventure, and that means we need to have some chases. I say on foot or in various vehicles. So those were my two things. So now it's Alex.
Okay. I might not be as quick, but yeah, I will try to be as quick as possible.
Just pick from the top 3 for now.
Yeah. Okay, so I think producer, okay, which is the season overview. I feel like there should be maybe some sort of twist towards the end where the respected mentor might actually have a dubious, not necessarily full-on villain, but a dubious past where they have previously maybe, actually, found and sold off various items before they've now come to the good side. So,
oh, that's how they know so much about how it goes down.
It's a classic for a reason.
Sure.
You could put that as a plot arc.
Plot arc, yeah. Just one thing, yeah, or two.
One or two things. You get to choose. You do at least one thing. You get to do another thing if you want to.
Can I also add a name for a villain, or is that's a free thing, right?
You only get to name characters if you're the casting director.
Okay,
so stick with the rules.
I said I was producer. Yeah, no, it's fine. So I think a theme might be hidden truths. So it might be that many of the main characters might actually have some sort of, hidden past thing that is going to kind of come back to them. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. So that there's this kind of theme that comes out, and then that Dame Judy Dench or whoever is the kind of mentor figure is and you were a horrible person in your youth, and I don't know. So
yeah,
that's classic. So it's like those shows where each character kind of gets their little spotlight episode, where it's like, oh, this, in this episode, this main character, their past finally catches up to them, or whatever. We reveal like what got them into the group, right?
Yeah. Oh, one more thing that I should mention for those who have played Microscope and haven't played this. Here you are welcome to. It's not required, absolutely not, but you are welcome to poll the table and like check in with ideas if you want to. Which I think
absolutely veto anything that I say if it doesn't fit.
Yeah. We're doing this in a spirit of collaboration, but I just want to mention that because if you're playing Microscope like strictly by the rules, you're just supposed to do your own thing, and so I just want to be clear that that's not how we do it in this game. So Jim is next, and I think you've started already, or someone put down respected mentor. But yeah, that we have the respected mentor character.
Oh,
yeah.
I just filled that as a placeholder.
Yeah.
Remember, we need to name that guy or that person.
Yeah. So Jim, what do you want to do?
I want to be the showrunner here. To start to do a little thing here. I want a recurring motif of how did we get here? Like this feels 100% to me like a show that every episode has a cold open where we're like running from something, or like in a vault somewhere, or the gas is coming in, or you're like are the guards going to notice us or something like that, and then we do the thing where 6 weeks earlier, and then we open the episode and do that. And so I'm just a big chump for that, like with an action show, and like in this kind of pulp sort of thing. I feel like that's a I definitely want that to be a thing that happens there. So chases on foot or in various vehicles. One of the other types of let me see here if there's and the other thing is title sequence. The other thing that I think far too many TV shows drop the ball on is having interesting title sequences that change from episode to episode. And so I would like our title sequence to be kind of diegetic based on the scene the characters find themselves in, right? So we have that cold open, and then there's some kind of thing that incorporates the elements of our title, our opening kind of title into that, sort of like a James Bond sort of a thing or something like that. And then we settle into actually starting the episode.
So is this like a freeze frame on each main character and show their name on the screen, that sort of thing?
So I really liked the way Buffy used to do it, with the kind of quick cuts, and they would show, and there maybe like you have a static like a shot that repeats of each character as you introduce them or something like that, but then there's bits from the episode that they kind of drop in, a few seconds of this office that they're in, or the whatever, the boat that they're on or something like that, so that then you can look for those in the episode, a little bit of a teaser to get people to like one of the single greatest opening sequences of any television show ever. Anders, was, you mentioned Buffy before, there's a Buffy episode where they end up in an alternate reality where one of the characters, who's kind of a doofus, is like has made himself into this super hot dude, and the title sequence, they completely changed the title sequence so that like he's the star of the show, of this alternate version of Buffy. And man, that was compelling. That was like, oh my God, we got to watch and see what's going on. And I would love to have something like that where we have some variation in that title sequence with every episode.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, T, your turn.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with producer. And it's season 1, right? So we've obviously got to have the team come together, get to know each other, introduce them. And I have to write and talk at the same time. So I think the team is as the team pulls together, they realize that they're not the only ones because we hinted that there's perhaps a second shadowy organization that is also working against them, going after these artifacts. But obviously, the other folks are not in it to repatriate them. They are, looking to sell them, but they're racing against thieves. I'll go back and make this more looters to return these artifacts to their rightful owners. Can they overcome their differences in time? Question mark. Because I think I'm going to do one of the plot arcs is that there's a lot of internal friction initially that they're going to have to get past to work together as a unit. And I will write all of that down, and I don't have to talk while I do it.
Cool. Is that your turn, or do you want another thing?
I'm going to do that second one as a plot arc because I feel like that's a separate thing.
That makes sense. Thank you, Aaron.
Okay, I think we need some people, some cast, some characters going on. So we're gonna name the mentor. Let's see. Maybe Jocelyn. This is interesting. Jocelyn Macaulay. Macaulay is let's see. I think older lady of who I think I'm imagining, I don't know, we can fill it in later, but I'm imagining we're kind of an international team, and so in the modern day, we don't necessarily meet up in person a lot. Maybe just a couple people will meet up here, or some we'll that like bigger part of the team will go out to a certain site or whatever. But I think Jocelyn is a little more hands off, and mostly we will like call her or video call her, but she kind of stays in her office somewhere, no doubt, chock full of all kinds of curiosities from her travels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's based in even like based in a museum or some kind of like university or library or something like that. What is available? And let's see. I think we need kind of a lead investigator.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Huh. Maybe I'll start with what's their. I think their drive is I think they are more of a on the law enforcement side, and so they're not so familiar with like the history aspect of it. But maybe they're like, former police or detective or something like that, and they kind of got dragged into more of these like smuggling cases and financial crimes and stuff like that, and like often it's wrapped up in these artifacts as a way of uh, uh, um, paying people without a paper trail, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I think their drive is more about catching criminals and bringing them to justice, and then that also is the perfect excuse where like they have to lean on other people on the team, right, to like explain the actual history and the
Yeah.
the symbols and the meaning of the artifacts and like the
Mhm.
cultures and so on, and they're just like, okay, but how do we catch the guy, right?
Yeah. Cool.
And I'll come up with a name for them momentarily. I think it's going to be Sergio something or other. Sergio Rios. That's cool.
Excellent.
So they are, yeah. So back to Anders.
Yeah. And now we've done one go around. We have a general sense of what the show is, what's going on, and we have at least a couple of characters. So now we can open up to taking any of the roles. So if you want to go in and be story editor or staff writer, that is available. I'm going to be showrunner again because I just had an idea for a recurring motif, and this is the thing I just really enjoy seeing, and that's montages as a series of still images. Uh, that's like you just get brief flashes of what's going on. It's I just think that's a very fun and quite effective way of storytelling. Um, and I really like the title pitched someone gave here as RePats.
Yeah,
So
Alex.
I'm going to put that in as the title. So on to Alex.
Okay. So I think I would be story editor for this round because I like the types of conflict being chases on foot or in various vehicles, but I like the idea of a vertical based chase. So we could be in a really tall building. So there's going to be I can't remember which Mission Impossible it is, but you had Tom Cruise on the outside. We could do probably not exactly that, but we could, have something from the outside, but also trying to get inside. There's, I just like that verticality. People are generally afraid of heights, and you can show massive, spectacular vistas. So I think a vertically based chase, perhaps in this specific tall building that I found, Burj Khalifa, which I think is in, where is it? It's in
Dubai, United Arab
Dubai.
Emirates.
There we go. So I think it's probably going to have a lot of kind of action sequences and stuff. So I think it's probably good for episode 2. So the premiere is probably going to have a lot more character stuff to start people off, but then episode 2, this kind of, we're instantly in, you know, globe trotting around the world and doing this type of thing. So I will try and so theme is like a vertical chase. Location would be little building. Okay. We'll have the guest star. So we'll have a villain. I can't spell villain. Because I love to hate this name. Montgomery Smythe. And hey, I'm British. I can make British people villains. It's is the villain. I think they're potentially going to be making some sort of exchange in the building, and there's an element of a heist, swapping maybe a fake out for the new one, and so exchanging building, swapping fake out for real item. And I like my twists. There's probably going to be 2 fakes, and where the crescendo of the episode makes a divot, because I can't remember what the precise screenwriting terminology is, that, you know, all hope is lost, all the plans have gone and failed, but actually they failed for the first fake, but not the other fake that we haven't quite, you know, introduced you to. I think that's enough for me for this round.
Cool, Jim. You're
muted.
Yeah, so it turns out that the Zoom keyboard shortcut to unmute yourself does not work in StreamYard. So that's because I'm like Alt A. You should be able to hear me. Sorry about that. So I think I want to be the casting director for this. Let's build up our cast here. And I think let me see here. Give me just a second to pop open my name generator here. Okay, so this is going to be Darshana. Let's do a Siri. And this is a Asian actor in her. It's going to be an Asian actor in her late 20s, like South Asian, like Sri Lankan or something. That's the name is Sinhalese, who is wheelchair bound, but she's our person in the van, right? She is the one that is, hooking us up. If we need a voice in our ear, it's her. And crucially, one of the things that I think we're going to see a lot of is use of interesting, innovative, and cool use of drones in this, because this is like a thing where like I know that like certainly like archaeologists that need to explore places that they don't want to blast holes in walls and stuff like that and everything, are at the cutting edge of using some of that stuff to peer into places like that and bring back information and everything. But if she started as an archaeology student who, like her way of going out into the field was by interacting with this and stuff like that, and then we're like, yeah, there's nobody better at that stuff than her, said someone, who was recruiting for the team. And then, when we told her like, oh yeah, I mean, like wonder it might be dangerous. And she was like, yeah, that's what I want. So I think she's going to be like a super enthusiastic, like, let me get my guys in there. And that's her drones are her guys. Right. And I really like that. Yeah. So, ooh, LiDAR. Yeah. That's freaking cool. But that kind of thing. So that's her. And I found see if there's a stock photo here. That I have that might, it'll say iStock on it here, but but let me see. But I think it'll give me just a second here.
Right. We'll have the producer work on clearing the rights for that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be.
I mean, we've got the budget for it.
But it's the kind of like, this is like that. That's the kind of thing I'm thinking of. That someone that, and it looks like she is ready to enjoy herself wrecking some shit to me. So that's we'll go with that.
Heck yeah.
Okay. All right. Description is, you know what? I'll write that stuff in there. And core drive is going to be, basically it's like just to, like she's kind of in it for the thrills, right? The adventure, like, this is actually, this is not just, cataloging dig sites and stuff like this. This is actually getting to do something super cool. Like, I don't know, like I envision her saying something like, oh my God, I have always wanted to do something where I could tell my friends, I could tell you what I'm doing, but then I'd have to kill you.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool. And that's what I envision her doing. And our episode 3 guest star, I don't know exactly what we.
Yeah, now you're straying from your role here, because you're the casting director. You're not the.
That's cast below. That's right. So we're not casting. So the guest stars and stuff is not casting. That's
that's for the story editor.
Okay. I got it. And so that's one, right? I just do one as cast director.
You pick the image, which is like casting the actor, so that's one thing, and then you can write the description of the core drive. Seems like what you're going for.
Got it. Cool. Okay. All right. Then I'm good. I'll give her a core drive and be all set.
Cool. T.
All right. Let's get some more social scientists in here. So I think this is kind of a pair. And I mean, I think everyone is cool and capable, but they have maybe a little bit of a comedic relief vibe to them. And I think it's Sandy Sue, she, her, and Randolph Miller, not Randy. Sandy only calls him Randy. Him. And I think she's an archaeologist. She's from Hong Kong. Probably went to university either in the UK or the US. Let's say she went to Oxford. And she absolutely is a former looter. She's here on probation. Sergio probably caught her. And she's kind of the muscle of the group. She's very athletic. She's very fast. She's a bit of a slob. Definitely will put that in her mouth to see if it's bone right away. And Randolph, not Randy, even though she calls him Randy, is an anthropologist. I think he's a linguistic anthropologist. Let's say Canadian. Let's say he's from Toronto. And after grad school, worked as a corporate anthropologist, and I think did acquisitions, shall we say, for some tech. Probably billionaires, and also is now trying to turn over a new leaf. And I guess I'm doing two descriptions, so I will not also fill out any relationships. But I imagine there's some relationships between these cast members.
Yeah. Cool. So you can write that down, and we'll move on to Aaron.
Okay. I will pick the staff writer, because I love that episode 2 description there. So I want to fill in at least one of the beats, and I think this is towards the beginning, right? In this opening scene, so we've got the Burj Khalifa and the people inside, and like I feel like the team, like we've got at least a couple team members, inside, kind of, on comms, like waiting for the signal of like, okay, they're making the exchange, right? And then it's Darshana is the first to realize that, because she's got the drones, right? So I feel like I just want to add the detail that she's got like the quadcopter drones, that they can fly around, but there's other kinds of robots and drones and stuff. So she absolutely has like a almost like one of those tracked, like bomb disposal type robots, with cameras, and like it's got like the what do you call the little cameras that the little snake cam or whatever, where you can like bend around corners and poke into holes and bend around corners and stuff for exploring, tight spaces, right? So somehow she sees something, right? She realizes, and she says, let's see, some like they're on, let's see, I think it's you're on the wrong floor. And then like the drone like zips away, right? Zips up, or oh, maybe it's even more dramatic if it's like zips down, and it's like zooming along the outside of the tower, and then comes up short to like peer through the window at where the actual exchange is happening. And
cool.
Darshana, I want to add. See, I want to do a second one as well.
Yeah.
Just type that.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Whatever. Okay. And then let's see. Maybe it's even, for the sake of the TV show, I'm thinking it's like her drones probably she like speaks through the drones themselves, right? So you can even see it. like Sergio's waiting there, and then the little robot next to him says, "You're on the wrong floor." Let's see. I could also add in.
And just to clarify here as well, when you're story editor or staff writer, you don't have to do both things on the same episode or scene.
Yeah, I want to jump around a little bit. So I think we need a beat at some point. Yeah, she seems like T says she seems like the type of person to put googly eyes and stickers on her drones. Absolutely. They've all got their own little personalities.
Mm-hmm.
I think in a later episode, maybe episode 4, after we've kind of had a chance to to meet the team. I feel like it's very it's sort of an ensemble cast situation, and like not every character is gonna be relevant to every case.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got like various specialists, but I think in season 4, or sorry, episode 4, scene 2, there's a moment, right, where the case has gotten so crazy and so wide range. It's kind of like they're starting to they're peeling back the layers. They're starting to open it up, and there's a moment where like we gotta conference call everybody, right? It's like we need the whole team coming together for this case. Like we need to know the culture, the history. We need to decipher the glyphs on this thing, right? We need like the tech specialist, like zooming in and enhancing the footage, and just we're calling in the Sergio's old Interpol contacts to issue like put people on the no-fly list. It's like everything's just going wild. So we call in like all the other characters that we've seen in 1 or 2 episodes previously, and just everybody comes in and they're all shouting over each other on the video call, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll type that up. Go ahead.
Cool. And it's my turn, and I'm torn here between putting in another character and doing other things. But I think I'll go for story editor. I'm going to write the synopsis for episode 1. I think we need to set the format, show the audience what they can expect from an episode, but we also need to because we only have 5 episodes this season, we need to introduce this other team, and that's like a hint that they exist at least. And I'm not going to be super detailed here, but the team do a standard mission, and if someone comes up with details to add to this later, please feel free to like rewrite and add in that. Standard mission which shows off the core cast specialties and cultural backgrounds. Something happens that indicates that another group is trying to get the same artifact, but the team gets it. Because I don't think we want to open on a failure. We want to open on a success, but we want there to be this. There was some sort of interference, some unknown group interfered in some way. And I think the theme of this episode is that everyone knows something. Like everyone has their own cultural background and baggage and that sort of thing, and so we get to hear from different people on the team about different things, that sort of thing. Cool, Alex.
Okay, so I have an idea. So I think I might be casting director for this round. But I would also like to cast the season villain, the big bad, as well as potentially the mentor. And I wouldn't mind them being, ex-partners, both in crime and also in romance. So I was thinking Viola Davis and Demi Moore. Does that rock anyone's boats in the good or bad way?
Sounds good to me.
So we'll have Viola Davis as our mentor. Oh my God, what am I doing? Did I do that? Am I a Nolas Gopher, or is that someone else?
I'm trying. I'm working here out on the right, trying to add some more columns just to create space for characters. But use whatever one is free. That's farthest
I think
to
Viola Davis for our respective mentor, and then for our Demi Moore description, I guess, is main season villain. I'll come up with a name later. So, is that enough? If I've kind of cast two characters,
yeah, that's your two things.
Cool,
Jim.
But I'll give shall I find a name for the villain? As well as one of those free action things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Cool, Jim.
Yeah, all right. Episode 3, I want our bad guy to be J.K. Simmons because he is just such a good bad guy. He's such he can be just such an unbelievable asshole. The title of this one is For the Man Who Has Everything.
Cool.
And guest star J.K. Simmons. Do I say who he's like? Do I give him a?
You can if you want to.
Yeah. So he's basically he is a thinly disguised version of Jeff Bezos. He is an American mogul who runs and uses his delivery trucks to smuggle artifacts. So that's how and that's definitely got a scene of oh, you know what? It's definitely got a scene of me telling you what that scene is on my next turn. So there we go.
Yeah. T.
Yeah, I think I want to add. I want to go back up to being showrunner, and I think I'm going to add a theme of redemption. And let me know if this is too broad for a type of conflict, but someone from the past shows up and wants something that the character is not willing to give.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that can be a type of conflict. It can be a theme. It can be a recurring motif. I think it fits in any of those.
Ah.
But you can put it as a type of conflict. That's perfectly fine.
Conflict. Interpersonal tension with someone from the character's past.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a type of conflict, I would say. And these headings are more to give ideas and some structure. They're not meant to be like fixed exact categories of like you can only do these things, if that makes sense. Cool. So that was your two things. It's Aaron.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I think I also want to be story editor because I like the title. I think we need. Actually, man, I should have been thinking ahead. Sorry, didn't realize it'd be so quick.
Sorry.
Let's see.
I mean, if you need more time
Yeah,
to
let's
think,
do.
we are getting close-ish to the hour.
Yeah.
No, I got it. So we'll do. I think it's going to be. It'll be the Cambodian sculpture, because I think there's all kind. The RePats tackle all kinds of different things, right? Sometimes it's artifacts, but sometimes it can be paintings or bones or whatever, different kinds of objects. But I think this is episode 1 is the Cambodian sculpture, which is a like we established, it's kind of a standard mission. It's a fairly straightforward to understand. And this sculpture was dug up by some farmer somewhere and sort of sold along a chain of of different dealers and stuff.
Yeah. You want to add that to the synopsis, maybe, or as a plot thread?
Oh yeah. Or I'll just add that that's like one of the plot threads, right? And then we've kind of put in there's maybe some other stuff going on, but I'll put that as a one of the plot threads is the sculpture. Yeah, it gets passed along. You can go ahead.
Cool. I think we'll take the break here because I'm first in the turn order, so we'll come back at 1:30.
Cool.
See you in a few. So we're back, and it's my turn. I had an idea, and now I've forgotten what it was. Oh yeah. Let's see. I just have an idea for an exchange between Sergio and I think this would be who would be driving. Like if there was a car chase, would it be Darshana or Sandy who would be like the driver? Who do we think?
I mean, if she had learned to drive, it probably would have been on the other side of the road as Darshana. If Darshana had learned to drive, it maybe it depends on where they are.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because
I can't help but feel
that could add a certain comedy.
I feel like Darshana really enjoys going online and just like smoking teenage boys at like Gran Turismo and stuff like that. That just feels like.
Yeah, she should be the driver, because I feel like we need Sandy to be, leaning out the car door, or like, you open up the back of the van, right, and she's shooting people's tires out or whatever. She's too busy to be driving as well.
Yeah. So I think the exchange is Sergio says, we're going too fast, and Darshana says, we're not going fast enough. I imagine him kind of clinging to his seatbelt or the clinging to the car, and she's like leaning forward, really intent on the chase. And then and then directly after that, Darshana takes a turn on. Drives the van on 2 wheels through around the corner.
Nice.
Yeah, that was I dropped that in scene 2 of. No, that shouldn't be episode 2. That should be episode 1, because we're establishing who they are, and I think that fits better there. Yeah, cool. Alex.
Okay, quick one from me, I think. I'm going to give episode 2 a title. The higher they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah.
To reinforce that verticality.
Mm-hmm.
And then, damn it. No, because I've gone for story editor now. Okay, I'll save that for next time. So now I need to come up with something else. So maybe it won't be as quick. Something else with story editor.
But it
like
could
I
be
said,
for
it
any
doesn't
episode,
have.
right?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. I think we were about to say the same thing. I was just checking.
It doesn't have to be for the same episode. You can jump to another.
Yeah. No, yeah. Cheers. So, I'm thinking episode 4 should be building up and laying the track for the season finale in some way. And I think we will come face to face with I've forgotten the name that I gave Demi Moore, Francesca Riddle. Francesca Riddle, the main villain. And they will drop a kind of meaningful bombshell, hinting strongly at the fact that they are intimately acquainted with our mentor character, Jocelyn McCauley. So
Cool.
I'm laying some of the track for the big finale.
Cool.
I think
So,
that's me done.
All right. I'm going to do story editor. Sorry, staff writer. Develop a scene. Add something to one of the scenes to the right. So episode 3, for the man who has everything, scene 2 is going to take place in in a distribution center for what are we going to call this? Mammoth.com. The like one of these huge warehouses with like all kinds of tracks and conveyor belts and robots carrying product that can be hacked and all of that kind of stuff, right? So that's where that is. That's where that's going to happen. And in scene 3 of that episode, under plots, beats, visuals, dialogues, needle drops, etc., we're going to steal something using a rocket, one of his like big dick-shaped rockets that we're going to somehow manage to take that over, and like that's going to be instrumental in the plan to get our hands on whatever artifact it is there. So
yeah, cool. T.
All right, so I think I'm going to go into that same episode. And our opener, I think this is maybe going to be the first opener where the introduction is like weirdly a little tense, right? We set up that expectation, like, oh, we're going to have a chase scene right off. And this time I think we see like we're in a palatial gray and white and glass modern mansion. And oh gosh, well, okay, we'll deal with spelling later. And I think the one of the key oh, you know what? I can do the summary. I can just sort of plop it out. And we see a man in a very expensive, well-fitted suit coming in with a custom-made case, and I think we're following, his footsteps on the floor. And some stuff happens, and then as the sale of the artifact is completed, the camera swivels around, and it's Randolph selling something to this rich guy.
Cool. Not our hero.
Yeah. Ooh, what could be going on there?
Yeah, were those your 2 things? Yeah.
Yeah, it's location and summary. I'm gonna type it.
Yeah. Cool. Aaron.
Okay. Yes. I want to be story editor. Okay, because I do want to fill in this first episode. Actually, wait a minute. Maybe I'll be a staff writer here, because I think in scene 3, I wanna elaborate on the other group that is finding these artifacts. sort of competing with us. So I think in the yeah, I think in the first episode, in the last scene, there's some kind of I want to say like a bidding war, or maybe like
it's like an auction.
Yeah, I'm maybe yeah. I'm not sure why. Well, okay, here's the idea. So
if you want to have a scene with an auction, put in a scene with an auction, and we'll find some reason to.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the implications, but there is this scene, right, where it's like a dark web, black market auction, and so it's like an eBay situation, and it's like, okay, we know we need to win. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we need to win the auction, not because we're going to pay the money, right? But we're that by winning the auction and sending the payment, then we'll be able to track them down, right? We trace the money and then catch and that's how we get the get the criminal as well as the artifact back. Okay, but somebody else is also bidding, and they are loaded, right? So it's like it's really tense because they keep driving up the price, and that's how we get the hint. Like, wow, somebody really wants this like otherwise pretty low level artifact. That's it's not famous or anything like that.
Yeah.
But somebody out there is really like competing with us. Where we get outbid repeatedly.
Oh yeah, and that could be just an idea. Jocelyn is the one who comes up with this plan, and that's why there's a bidding war because she and Francesca used to do the same thing, or had done the same thing in the past. So now they're both using the same ploy.
Yes. So maybe I'll even put that like Jocelyn has the idea to trace the money and therefore catch criminal. She used to do the same thing. She used to auction. She used to auction artifacts the same way. Okay. Yeah. We'll leave it there for now. Go ahead.
Then I am going to be a staff writer. I want because the way Jim, the way you describe this distribution center, I want a chase scene on the conveyor belts, and I think this is, let's say, Sandy is definitely Sandy and Sergio. I think are chase on conveyor belts where Sergio and Sandy are using things they rip from, or using the things on the conveyor belts to confound their pursuers. That's a thing I want there. Some of that levity we can inject there without it can be fun without having to make fun of anyone. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. I don't have an obvious idea. I don't want to delay anything. So, Alex.
I will pick up on the idea that I had for my last turn, which is a post-credits scene. Post-credits scene, yeah, in episode 4, which lines up the finale. We have pick up on Jim's idea of drones and the this kind of distribution setup. We have a drone delivering a package to our mentor, who has a name which I keep on forgetting. Jocelyn. There we go.
Jocelyn, yeah.
Jocelyn. To Jocelyn.
Yep.
I like it. I'm just trying to navigate character keeping. And in it, in the delivery, in the package, is a maybe people can help me out here. So the idea is that this is the villain who's giving our mentor a element of something that they previously stole, which is now going to potentially be the thing that our main team need to recover in the finale. Hopefully, potentially, so there's going to be drama where they have to talk to the mentor, and the mentor has to come clean with
Oh man.
But then they potentially, if our group can heist this artifact or collection of artifacts and repatriate it, it goes some way to clearing the slate for our mentor.
Oh, could it be human remains of some kind? Maybe she gets like a finger bone or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was going to suggest maybe like the ball from an earthquake jar, but I think that's a significantly higher stakes.
I mean, so
maybe the bone is etched in some way to make it very distinctive and very obvious that this is some sort of.
I had it in my head that it's fun if it's something that everybody needs to worry whenever they're handling it about it breaking, like an amphora of wine, or like some maybe like if we want to do human stuff, maybe it's like a bottle of someone's blood, or
canopic jars, right?
Yeah, something like that. Sure, yes, yeah, some kind of something. But that like that it's fragile, that we can't, that that because that just kind of adds tension to everything.
Yeah.
And this is just one of several that were stolen. So the villain can potentially like give it up as a kind of blackmail thing to our mentor. But there's other things out there that need to be found and retrieved and then repatriated.
Nice.
Okay. I think that's enough.
I think it'd be it's fine. Whoever added the distribution center for Mammoth.com as a location, and that's like the Amazon.com analog, right? So I love if just like throughout the series, right? They keep popping up. So the drone that's delivering the blackmail is of course a Mammoth.com drone, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool. Were those your things there?
I think that was one thing, but I don't have an idea for a second one, so please move on.
Cool. Jim.
All right. Let me see here. So I think I would like, let me see here. Do I want to do? Yeah, okay. I'm going to be the showrunner because I want to add a couple of things to the story Bible. The RePats never kill anyone on purpose. That is one of our and that is one of them. And and what is the other? Let me think of give me a second to think of a second one here. Every local extra who interacts with the RePats gets named. We don't have nameless, like anybody that actually is involved in what they're doing. No one's nameless, faceless, just, but we give those people names. I mean, that whatever, that's, there's a story game principle to inject into your television show there, but I think that's important.
Yeah, I like those. I think I'm gonna be story editor. And then for episode 4, I'm kind of feeling like episode 1 is a little bit more focused on, and this is just my headcanon. We don't have to move forward with this, but I feel like episode 1, since Sergio is the one who brought the team together, is maybe a little bit more Sergio focused. Episode 2 feels maybe a little bit more Darshana focused. Episode 3, a little bit more Randolph. So I think in episode 3, Randolph. So I think in episode 4, since we're sort of ratcheting up tension, getting towards the season finale, let me check the Sage Tools real quick. Yeah, I think Sandy's father is kidnapped by some of her old sort of criminal acquaintances and held for ransom. And the ransom, of course, is not money, but a priceless artifact. And then I think, maybe one of the themes is like scope of responsibility. That's a weird way to phrase that, right? But I think that the tension that she feels like to her, sort of redemption and her team versus towards her family. That's a theme, which I also think plays in nicely to this tension between Jocelyn and Francesca.
Mm-hmm.
And I will type that down. I'm good.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna keep going. Let's see. Yeah, I'll also do story editor. Just trying to pick which episode this fits in. So I want to keep filling out this like rival team, right? And I don't think they work for the J.K. Simmons guy. At least not directly, right? I think they're more freelance, kind of like we're freelance. You know, we're like we're not official, police or anything like that. We kind of work independently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this team is similarly kind of mercenary. They'll offer their services to anybody. And maybe this could go in technically an NGO, yeah. Episode 5, our season finale, and one thing I'm not sure on is like what their name should be. They should have we should have like I don't care what their official name is, but we should have like a maybe like Looter Inc. or something. Is what we kind of call them. Let's see. Yeah, so I think in the season finale, one of the plot threads and conflicts is Looter Inc. is Acquisitions Incorporated. I think that one's taken.
Finders keepers.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Interesting. Yeah, finders keepers. Sure, finders keepers. So in the season finale, they are yeah, I think they are coming for. Oh man, maybe they're coming for Jocelyn's stuff in particular.
Ooh. They're making it personal.
Since I mean, she's already being blackmailed by somebody. Maybe it's them. I don't know. Yeah, we'll say Finders Keepers is revealed to be the blackmailers, and they want Jocelyn's private collection, or something from Jocelyn's private collection. Actually, I want to start naming specific things. Oh, it's a painting. It's a lost. Hmm. There was, I think it is a lost Madonna. A lost Madonna. A Da Vinci Madonna. That's a real thing. There's actually, I think it was in Dubai. United Arab Emirates had a claimed that they had one, and they, there was some controversy around getting it verified as, a legitimate Da Vinci or something like that. Was that it? Something in that nature. Anyway, yeah. So they kind of come to the fore in the finale there, and then yeah. Oh, Teams is good. Yeah, you said it was. Which was the ones you said? Episode 3 is where Sandy kind of comes in, becomes the focus.
I was thinking 4, but it could be 3.
Oh, 4. Okay.
Yeah, because that's the one
Sandy's
with the
father.
black
Oh, there
malark.
yeah, you put it in there. Sandy's father's held for ransom. Yeah. Nice. Randolph. Yeah, I think a theme for episode 3 where Randolph is featured then is I think it's around money, right? It's like it's an interesting contrast with Leverage, because in Leverage often they're working, like, part of the thing is they're recovering money or valuables for somebody, right? So it's not just about justice, but also kind of they make some money off the deal somehow, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're conning the conners. But our funding, I think, is less. We're not in it for the money, right? But maybe some of us still need some money from somewhere. So I think it's like where the theme is like where does our funding come from? Or where does our team's funding come from?
Yeah, cool.
And I'm thinking this is kind of like, Randolph had to take some, had to go back to an old patron, so we couldn't, we're not paying him enough to keep him exclusive.
Yeah. So I think we'll definitely have time for one more full round, but probably not 2. So we'll see what it looks like after we finish this round. But assume this is your last turn. I had an idea, and I'm in. I want to pitch this, and we'll see what everyone thinks. I was inspired by Jim's reminder of the Buffy episode with the alternate titles, and I was thinking either episode 4 or episode 5 is told partly from Finders Keepers perspective, so they're the ones in the credits. But I'm not sure which one. Do we do this like in episode 4 where we kind of reveal them, or do we do it in episode 5 for the finale to like have the big hype for that? What do you think?
I think 4 works better because it's like that's going to be set up for the big finale, and then we do the big finale. Yeah.
Then I'll just add to the
like you don't want to throw too many curveballs in the finale. I think that's
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll add to the synopsis. Episode told or I think like halfway, the first half of the episode is told from their perspective. Half of episode told from finders keepers perspective, including alternate titles with their characters. So that's one thing. And then I think the title for that episode is Finders Keepers. Cool. That was my thing, or my things. Alex.
Okay. So I think I will be staff writer for this last round. And I think scene 1, opening location of the finale, I want snow, mountains. I want like, glitzy Switzerland, alpine, resort, super uber expensive type thing, to go out on a kind of, or at least start that episode with such a thing. So glitzy mountain ski resort villa in Alps, possibly Swiss. And so I think that would, grab a viewer's attention, and fit a globetrotting adventure. And then something I thought about earlier, where in episode 2 we had this kind of multiple fakes. I think that there should be various scenes, sort of simple scenes with music going on in the background, where probably in scene 1, semi-random scenes of our main characters walking down corridors and dropping off luggage, etc., etc., with the idea that when we come to that kind of dip of, oh no, the plan's all lost, suddenly we cut back to some of those scenes with a little bit of extra detail before and after that show that what they were doing was actually kind of laying the foundation for this double heist thing. And that's me, I think.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going to do, for my last thing, I'm going to add a couple more things to the story Bible here. I think I would like to. One of them is that finders keepers can't resist flaunting their wealth. they're bad at going undercover.
Yeah.
Because they've, you know, like they've got to have a Cartier watch and a, you know, whatever Dolce and Gabbana this and, you know, whatever, like, you know, like, you know, a phone that hasn't even been released yet, kind of like that kind of thing. You know, whatever the latest version of a, you know, of a jet black matte black metal credit card is, that's how they pay for stuff and things like that. And just, but the idea that they are fantastically personally wealthy, and they cannot, like, there is no way that they cannot be that, like just always be displaying that. There's a tell. Yes. Yeah. There's a tell. You know, they could be undercover, but if it's, you know, but he got a platinum money clip this thick with $100 bills in it, then that's, you know, it's, they're not, you know, they're not a repat. If they're, if they're ordering, you know, if they're ordering Cristal for the table. So, all right. And the other one that I really like that I want to do is, cultural context info dump for all artifacts. We make sure that we explain to the audience of the show why these things are important, and not just like, you know, not just like why they're expensive, but the cultural significance that they have, and why it is important that we return them to the people who are their, you know, like we said, not the original owners, but the cultural inheritors of them. And that we make sure that there's no they, like we said, it's not going to be real stuff, because we may not know, you know, we're not going to know what those things are, but we're going to give everything a grounding in reality and a grounding in a culture, and that's part of the, you know, the mandate.
Can I add something, Jim?
Yeah.
I think also a little bit of a snippet about how it was originally kind of stolen as well, because certainly living in Britain, where lots of things in museums, and people kind of vaguely know and understand that they were probably, you know, gotten by, you know, empire. But if there was an actual, like, little flashback or, you know, explanation about exactly what happened and how it was kind of, sold to the British, but actually, you know.
So what I just added, cultural context info dump for all artifacts and how they were taken. Does that comport with what you're thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would definitely be educational for a lot of British viewers.
Sure. There we go.
Cool. T.
Yeah, I think on that note, I'm going to add a scene. And I'm imagining that this is a scene that sort of like, some variation of this shows up in every episode, right? And it's the actual repatriation. So I think it's going to be in episode 2, and we're in Sri Lanka. And she's... I think it's some establishing shots of like a university, and, you know, she's sort of sitting in her chair, waiting on the elevator, and goes down a hallway, and it's her advisor's office, and you know, I think also this is all in Tamil, and it's just like, you know, subtitles is the word that I'm looking for non-Tamil speakers. And, you know, he's sort of joshing her like, oh, you still think the future's in computers? We study old stuff, that sort of thing. And she, you know, sort of goes along with it. And then, No, I think she'd carry it with her. I don't think she'd have a drone deliver this priceless artifact. She pulls something off the back of her wheelchair in this case, and it's she opens it, and it's a little carved stone figurine, and he's like, "This was looted 300 years ago. Where did you find it?" And I think she sort of like grins and is like, "If I told you, I'd have to kill you." And finally gets to say that. And so there's it's being returned to its correct cultural context.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Aaron, last turn.
Okay. Let's see. We haven't established what the artifact is in episode 3. And I like this from this this list on the website I found, which is the Crown of Magdala, which is like this golden crown. Initially, let's see, from Ethiopia, British troops captured Magdala in a battle in 1868, looted the crown, and then it's still on display in let's see, the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. And
so we'll have some sort of parallel to that, since we said we weren't like doing museums, we were more doing like private collectors.
Yeah, but I think the that Randolph somehow, reacquired it from the museum, right? Because basically there's no money's no object to J.K. Simmons' character. So that's and then that's becomes the opportunity for us to right the wrong.
Yeah, that's great.
So yeah, so let's see, Randolph. Museum heist of the Crown of. Yeah, sells it to the team has to steal it back and return it, repatriate it. Let's see. What else? We haven't filled out the season finale very much. Maybe, yeah. Oh, I know a beat that I want to see there. Maybe I want to see like Jocelyn. Maybe this is a theme like Jocelyn decides to. I mean, she's already retired, officially retired from her, whatever her role was, but I think she decides to step down from the RePats, right? After all of this history comes to light, this personal history, and so it's like because isn't one of the series themes is redemption, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think let's see, is Jocelyn irredeemable for her past? Is one of the themes of that episode.
Cool. And that's it. That's the show. Yeah. Let's do a quick round of, well, not many wishes, but stars at least. Alex, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Great game, very smooth. Even though I felt sometimes, under pressure to do stuff, but that's just story games for you, right? So, but it was an enjoyable pressure. I liked how there was very few rules, but everything was very clear. I super liked people riffing off of other people's ideas. Could have done a bit more of that myself. So that would be a wish for next time.
Cool. Thank you. Jim.
Hello. Sorry, it's 24 minutes past the time when somebody is supposed to have dinner, so he's harassing me. So I'll take care of him in just a second. I mean, starts for everybody. This was delightful. I particularly, one of the things that's fun about this and that I particularly appreciate and that I felt like we really crushed it today was the thing where one person suggests something and then like it goes around the table and those things can kind of sit there and clearly like it's percolating in someone's head. And then, the second time it comes back around, they're like, okay, I've got the perfect thing for this now. And like, and like everybody had one of those. So I calling out any one particular thing, whoever cast Viola Davis and Demi Moore, that feels like a particularly, that really works for me as our two kind of the mentor characters, and like Demi can be, simultaneously sinister but also immensely appealing, and so can Viola Davis. So they've both got that going for them. Like you could see either of them, having any kind of a past or something like that. And I really liked how that worked. Yeah, and this was just super fun. Everybody had great ideas. We all built on each other's stuff, and it's one of the it's not a plot. Like there isn't really a like we're not playing characters or anything. It's kind of more of a world building game, and I it's perfect for a one shot. And I really enjoyed it. I particularly liked the way that everybody really leaned into the we're going to make this as pulpy as we can while simultaneously as, kind of anti-colonial and, these characters being the good guy as much as it is possible in our, jaded, cynical, everything is gray modern world, to have characters that we really, really try to have them be like the good guys in our action adventure scenario. I really like that and the way that everybody cleaved to it. So, Anders, thank you very much for putting this up. I had a real great time.
Yeah, thank you for playing. T.
Yeah, likewise. I really felt this is like the fun parts of writing, right? Like you don't have to do any of the between stuff. It just happens. You don't have to think about the logistics. How did all these people get here? It doesn't matter. Which I really enjoyed. I really liked and I think just from a game design wise, I really like having the like you can do the one-liners and you can build characters and have sort of broader products. I think all the episode titles that we added are fantastic. I would definitely be intrigued by them, and I think they really fit the general tone and theme of this show really well. And I also really liked how many cool, interesting chase scenes there were, which is definitely something that we called out at the beginning as a theme to hit multiple times, and sure did. I'm assuming that there was going to be a ski-based chase scene in episode 5 that we didn't get a chance to. We didn't get enough rounds to fill out, but yeah, very very fun, very enjoyable.
Cool, thank you, Aaron.
Yeah. A lot of fun. I do want to start particularly Jim filling out the story Bible with just like overall those principles of like, right, this is how the show works, right? That was great. Because I think the previous time we played, we used that more for like setting information. It was like a fantasy world, so like, okay, here's the rules of the setting, you know. But this is more about like the rules of sort of the tone and the writing, right? It's like the writers aren't going to cross these lines, so that was cool. Yeah. But yeah, very very cool. I appreciate yeah, I like the structure of it, and like T says, where how you jump around just to the most interesting part. Just like what's the most interesting part for me right now, right? And I'm going to fill in that part and that part, and it's, you know, over time you get to see, you know, the bigger picture, and that makes it easier to fill in, you know, the rest. So very cool. Thanks.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, stars to everyone. Super fun game. I think we did we created something very interesting, something I definitely want to watch, which is what usually happens with a game. You come up with something and oh, isn't anyone making this? Uh, so that is super fun. I particularly liked how everyone brought diversity to the cast. That's not something I'm always great at. I tend to, especially when we're using established actors, I tend to um, go to like the same type of actors. And
Yeah, like
but
the Hollywood default. Yeah.
Yeah. But this was great. Really liked our cast here. Yeah, cool. Thanks for playing, everyone. And I'll end the recording.